Hello everybody, Snowmaker here today. I'm different scenery. Yeah, um, a lot of stuff went down. Every time I change houses and stuff, you guys probably think I'm some sort of evil maniac. But no, I just have a really messed up family. But that's a big story for another time. And topic of today's video. Oh, I'm cracking my back looking for my baby. There we go. Ignore my shorts. But yeah, this is it's gonna be a mega story time. Because I haven't uploaded. I've been lost material off my little world trying to cope, if I should say. But yeah, oh god, I just had like 17 stories lined up. Let's start with some injuries. I don't think I've ever gone over most of them in my channel. But yeah, let's start with one of the fun stories. On my hand, not sure if you can see those little scars, but on the palm of my hand, is that the hand? Yes, the hand. Right smack dead center here. See if I can focus on it. Yeah. All those little lines. Those are scars from when I worked at a haunted house. I worked at the same one for 3 years. It was incredible. I love that job. And I worked in a room where we had night vision goggles and a piece of plywood that we carried around this room, making people think they were in a maze. So that night I was alone. My buddy went off to smoke or work in a different room or something, I can't remember. And I was carrying around this piece of plywood, and that night was incredible up until the point of my injury. One of my friends came through. Well, friends, loosely know the person, but she was a big pussy. There's no talking around it. She was just a wuss. She's scared by everything, which are the best people. Those are what we call, fuck, what was it? Basically, a target. You want to point those people out the most because that's when you get the bigger reactions. That's when the fun begins. You get in that zone of, I'm terrifying, but I'm a teddy bear and I'll cuddly. But anyway, I crept up behind her after they got through, backstory to that. The room was barren. There was like 3 little pillars. That was it. It was completely empty and hollow. It was just me with a piece of wood in a pitch black room and night vision goggles. Now, they went around in big circles. I was doing awesome that night. I was on a roll. But as they were leaving the room, crept behind them, slammed that fucking thing down as hard as I could. She screamed and pissed her pants. She peed everywhere. Her pants were soaked. She had to be escorted out, and I was cleaning up her pee with kitty litter. That was fun. But maybe hours, a few hours passed, and then this drunk dude came in. We had a lot of drunks coming through because it's a Friday night. Hey, let's go to the haunted house. We're shit faced. Have fun times. Not for me. I had to deal with him. So, big drunk dude comes through. I see him. He's stumbling, staggering. I'm like, this is going to be harder than I thought because he's going to be belligerent. And I was right. He felt the wall, pushed on the wall. I was full guard, shoulder into that piece of wood. And then I put my palm down, like, here's the wall. My palm was here, and my arm was like up here, trying to block it. He said, I don't want that fucking wall there, and drove his fist through the plywood. Plywood's a light wood, you can break it easy. But what that did was sever the nerves in my palm, where I can no longer feel pain or anything in that part of my hand. Which I love doing that because they're like, oh my god, you just beat the fuck out of your hand. But yeah, it's always bruised and stuff because I don't feel it. It's just, yeah. So I'm sitting there feeling my hand. I'm like, why is my hand, am I sweating? I mean, it was hot in the room, so I just did, I'm sweating. Wiped it on my pants. Moved the wall, set it down. Hand still wet. Wiped it on my pants. 4 groups go by, and after they leave, I get my phone out and look at my hand. I'm dripping blood. It's covered my pant leg. It's on the floor. It's on the wall. And I kind of freaked out a little bit because I was like, well, I have a job to do. There's no one around, and my hand is pouring blood. Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 cuts. Well, 10 little scars that you can't really see. You can see like a little bit of the white outlines there. But there's 10 parts where it cut. And the next group that came in, I was like, guys, I'm sorry. This is where the night vision maze should be, but I'm injured. Some dude punched through my wall, and I showed them the big old hole. And or my, the best part of the story is when I showed the group my hand, one of the girls fainted. She couldn't do blood, and seeing real blood in a haunted house just set her off. She hit the ground. I can't help her up because I'm gushing blood, so I call out a code red. Code red's when they kind of stop, like the rooms beside us, so they can come help and see what's up. They came in, she's passed out. I'm laughing, as I shouldn't be, but I'm messed up in the head like that. I was laughing my ass off. Woman gets up, she's fine, perfectly fine. So, in hindsight, laughing was not really a bad thing, but I can't really say that because it makes me sound like a bad guy. So, yeah, she passes out, and that room shut down. My buddy comes back, I bandage my hand up and go back to work. Now, I have 3 more stories at the haunt because they're awesome. One's not an injury, one's a ghost story. I'm not sure if I told this story on my channel or not, but I'm telling it here again, even if I did, because I love the story. So, but I'll save that one for last or second to last. The second one I'm about to tell is an injury. I was a paintball target where we had a zombie gallery thing. There's like tombstones made of foam and stuff like that everywhere. So it was me and 2 other dudes, whose names I can't remember. We had riot gear, helmets, but no cup. So one year I had my mom's old bra. I just stuffed down my pants. Because if you get shot in the dick with a paintball, it's not going to feel good. Not going to be a good time at all. But we had our arms behind our back like this, head down, shambling left and right. We went in a big old circle, and yeah, we just got lit up all night. I came home with welts. Like, I have a picture on my phone where I got welts here, 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 all down my arm. Fun. I loved it. But one night, I think it was after the kids' night, because the kids' night we sounded like farm animals, like mooing and meowing and making clucking noises. Made the kids happy. I was happy. Good night. Next night, not so much. As I was doing my thing, hands behind my back, head down, I kind of popped my head up a little bit to look. Because your mask's going to be covered with paint, you can't really see. Somehow I made myself against the wall and forward enough for she could wipe my mask off. So she did that, I went back out. 3 rotations later, a paintball slips between the mask and cracks me right there in the head. I'm not sure if I have the scar still, but no. But a paintball slipped through my mask, cracked me in the head, swelled my eyes shut for like months, and I didn't know what happened. Get to the doctor, I had a hematoma above my eye, which is basically a collection of blood under the epidermis. So I had to deal with that until I got sick of it and lanced it. Took a hypodermic needle, through the bottom out the top, left out the right, and dead center. I squeezed that, and gross alert, it exploded like an overfilled water balloon. I did this number and like kind of pushed in and like down and in, and as soon as it popped, I almost hit the ground. It hurt so bad. And that force behind it just covered everything in front of me. So, blood pouring from my head, I'm cleaning up my gross, pussy mess. And no one knows what's going on until they come in and see my head gashed open, and I'm cleaning up some liquid. They freak out. I tell them I'm fine, tell them what happened. Then, yeah, that was basically it. I just made a big old mess. Ugh, gross times. Now, do I want to tell the ghost story or the terror house story? Yeah, I'll go with the terror house story. Kind of like my first episode, I dealt with a target victim, but I worked in a terror house. The difference between a horror house and a horror house and a terror house is that in a horror house or a haunted house, you can't touch them, you can't be vulgar, and it has to be semi-family friendly. In a terror house, nope, take all that away. It is a free roam, do whatever you want, aside from hurt or kill a person. You can make it as sick and sadistic and vulgar and gory as you want, and there's nothing they can do. They have to sign a waiver and everything. But I end up missing the actual haunt to see my girlfriend because we just got together that year. So we were together for February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. We were together for about 8 months. And I wanted to see her. And I completely forgot. No, it wasn't October. It was Valentine's Day. So we were only together for like a few days. And I wanted to see her. So I basically skipped work to get, yeah, imagine that date. Going to a freaking terror house, getting the piss scared out of you on Valentine's Day. So yeah, the day before the haunt was a rehearsal day where we got our act together and we made it flawless. We had a test group come in. We had 2 test groups come in. Now, my routine was me and 3 other people had the first, second, and third floor, the ABC floors of the cell, or the prison. We were up on rafters, banisters, whatever you want to call them, and it was a big loop. They'd go upstairs, around a corner, up more stairs. But we had it set out where we would kidnap one of the people, or the last person in the group. So, they're coming up on the 8th floor, right? They're walking through. There's a cell here. They walk past the cell. Second, third, fourth, how many people in the group? Final person comes through. They get about here. Dude comes out from the cell, wraps a towel around their mouth, drags them in, and throws them on the bed, holding their mouth. A few times we got it where they, couldn't make a noise. They're so scared. Then their group just kind of left them. Then freaking out on the B floor, they try to go back. We slam the gate on them, so they can't go back to their friends. It was evil, but I loved it. Then my job was to do basically the same thing as the first floor, but grab the first person. I had this super realistic fake knife, and I had like gashed open face, ripped clothes. I was a prisoner inmate. So I did this a few times. My stick was I'd grab the first person, knife to throat, scream something like, "Get the fuck back here, follow me, get in your fucking cell," something like that. And I'd throw them down a long corridor, slam the door behind them. Buddy with a real chainsaw would come out. I mean, it had no chain, obviously, but it was dark enough where they couldn't really tell. But he came out, read the chainsaw, chased them down. They're freaking out. And it was long enough where he can get about halfway. I get the door unlocked. They freak out and leave. Easy as that. It was awesome. But the last group I had, there was this real petite blonde girl who came through. I grabbed her up, pushed the knife against her throat, pushed her against me. Then my leg felt warm, oddly warm, like warm area of a pool warm. I looked down, her face is bright red, she's bawling her eyes out, and she pissed on me, right on my leg. So, I scream out, "You fucking bitch, you pissed on me, you're gonna pay for that," or something like that. So I locked her in the cell, and I'm sitting like stabbing at her hand with this. The knife was retractable. It was like plastic, but it looked perfectly real. So if it hit something, it wouldn't hurt. It like retract back into the palm. So like, let's say this is the knife, right? It would hit, well, handle, blade. Blade would hit, go back into the palm. Safe. So I was sitting there stabbing at her hands and stuff, and she just curled up in a ball, forgetting the safe word. We had a safe word, and I can't remember what it was. They told the people who came through, but didn't really let us know. What was it? It was something stupid like papaya or it was a fruit. Like, just full on BDSM fruit safety word. And she forgot it. And I was still in character, so I didn't realize that she was going into a panic attack. So once I realized the severity of it, called out the safe word, we chilled for a second. She's bawling her eyes out. I open the cell, and she gets so far back in that corner that she can't move. She's literally just in a ball, crying so hard. I felt so bad at the time. Well, after everything. At the time, I was loving every second of it. So, we get her out of there, and she hates me. Oh my god, the look on her face is priceless every second of the way. So, after she peed on me, I basically won because we had a competition. People who cry, you get a point. People who scream, no, people who scream get a point. People who cry get 2 points, and people who piss on you get 5. I got the most points because people who came through like the test runs are there to survey. Are there to get scared? They know what's going on. They're there to let the main people know if they're doing a good job. I scared and made her piss herself. She was a trained haunt veteran, which is someone who's worked in haunted houses, someone who's been around haunted houses for many, many years. And I scared her so bad that she went into a panic attack because apparently, the last little bit was left out by accident. Because it's kind of a quick little distraction to make the last little bit fun. So they forgot about it. They thought some crazed prisoner escaped and was hiding out there. Because I was all the way in a corner alone from everyone and everything. And that must have set her off somehow that she just went into a full-blown panic attack. So that was a very proud moment in my life where I could do that to someone. That sounded really wrong, out of context, but yeah. So the final haunt story was when I first started working there. I was in charge of cleaning up the cells where they'd lock them in there and tell them the story like the prisoners and stuff and what they do to each other. It was cool, kind of educational with the horror, so you learn something. But I had to sweep up the cell room. Just a nice empty room. Let's say that's full. Let's say this is a railing, like a steam pipe. It's somewhere back here. My phone is on top of it. Playing music, I'm just sweeping. And I hear above me a tink, 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 like someone's walking. So I just think, okay, it's one of the maintenance men doing their job. So I brush that off. I hear it coming down the spiral staircase in the corner. Tink, 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 tink. Gets halfway and stops. I'm like, okay, that's odd. It's just probably settling. Because at that time, I didn't really believe in ghosts. I mean, watching stupid ghost videos on YouTube is fun. It passes time, but they're all done so bad that you just can't get into it, you know? So, when I tell you this, I swear up and down on everything. I swear on my life that this actually happened. And, yeah, coming from a piss poor YouTuber no one knows about means nothing, but I promise you guys that this is real. This is true. My phone's playing music, and I had a phone kind of like this, but worse. And I had my, Google Music playing, the songs I downloaded from everywhere. The music, my phone went static and shuffled through my phone like a talk box. I don't know what it said. I didn't care. I wanted out of there. So I bolted for the door. I left my phone there, dropped my broom as it's still staticking and freaking out and skipping through my songs. And it wasn't going in order. It was like bouncing between my playlists, trying to find the words that talk to me. But if it didn't happen so suddenly, I probably would have sat down and listened. But I was playing one song, yep, like staticking out, telling me something. I dropped my broom. I ran to the lobby. I'm prying open this big ass heavy door, face pale as can be. Buddy Walker looks at me and said, "Dude, looks like you just seen a ghost." I was like, "I just fucking did." So I came back and my phone was dead. It was on like 70% when I came there, and it just died. Something drained my battery. And to this day, I can't really explain why that happened, but it's just so cool to think about and to reminisce on. Because that's not something you really see often or experience often. And when it does, working in a haunted place like that, it's the Moundsville Penitentiary. You know, the big ones the ghost hunters did, and they saw the Shadow Man and in the Sugar Shack and shit like that. Yeah, I worked there. So you guys who actually watch paranormal shit know what I'm talking about when I say the cell room, the Sugar Shack, stuff like that. But the cell room, you don't really see or hear a lot of commotion. Yeah, people died there, so what? The Sugar Shack was where everything went down, but I've never seen the Shadow Man. I worked there in that room alone for years and never saw him, which makes me really sad because that room is really eerie. It's just a big concrete room, no windows, big metal doors, and it's completely hollow and empty. There's some chairs in the corner, but there have been stories about chairs getting thrown and stuff like that, but I've never seen anything like that. So, yeah, that's my ghost story. I wish I could go back and relive that because knowing what I know now, I'd sit down, I would have recorded it. Well, I wouldn't have a phone because it's playing music, but I would have actually sat down and paid attention to what it was doing so I could get an answer instead of going off a, oh, it's a ghost. Yeah. It's just awesome though, thinking about, like, have you guys ever had a ghost encounter or a ghost experience? Tell me your story. I'll read it, I'll listen, I'll reply. I'm not going to poke holes in it because where's the fun in that? Oh, God. But working at McDonald's, man, it's an adventure, really. Sure, it's a shit job, but the people really make it work. Like, you have some customers who have bad days and they come through and pop off to you and disrespect you for, let's say, not taking too long. I work in the hole, which is we take orders in lane 1 and 2, do dishes, and pay people out. That's all I do all day. Not hard, but tedious. And the people who come through really make that place awesome. There are so many people who come through and say, "Oh my god, your voice is so deep. Oh, you should be on radio," stuff like that. Which all my coworkers get annoyed with things like, "Hey, she said I have a good voice. She said I should do radio. He said my voice is awesome." They're like, "Oh my god, we get it. You say this every day." Because every day it happens. There's at least 2 or 3 people who come through and say, "Hey, you should go do radio." And I've thought about it. It's actually almost got me a job one day. I was talking to the Channel 7 News, like one of the anchors. I didn't know who it was. And I was talking to him because the line was going slow. People were taking forever. So I was leaning out my little window just talking to him. And I told him that, yeah, people have said that I should be on radio and TV and stuff, but I've always wanted to. He's like, "Well, you like the news?" I was like, "Oh my god, is this going where I think it is?" So we talked about the news for a bit, and he comes out and says he's the news anchor for Channel 7, after I said he looked really familiar. So I could have got a job that day, but I'm too big of a pussy to walk out of McDonald's again. I quit. Well, I was going to quit once, but I took my 2 weeks notice out because they gave me a promotion and a week vacation. So I was like, "Hey, fine, I'll stay." Then the second time I went to Sheets. Like I told you guys, I worked at Sheets for that little bit, and recently went back to McDonald's because Sheets just screwed me over bad. I didn't like it. Didn't appreciate it at all. They said I'd work 40 hours a week, job stuff, but then drop my hours. Pay was the same, but don't get the hours. Pay doesn't matter. You can make like $4 an hour and work 25-hour days. It's or you can make 10.50 and work 3 days. It's just all a matter of the days, man. The hours you work. The pay is just trying to get an idea what your paycheck's gonna be. If you make no hours, you get no money. Make a lot of hours, you get money. No matter how little you make. Oh, my foot's asleep. Oh god, ow. Ooh, foot's numb. Whew, so enough about my rant. Ooh. Behind the scenes. Oh god, I am not professional at all. I was trying to think of stories to pass the time because it's god 8:48 in the morning. I haven't been to bed yet. I got home last night at like 4:28, 4:30 because we had to detail one of the grills, and oh my god, that was terrible. Detailing the grill entailed taking all the carbon off, scrubbing down the grill, all the heads, sides, back, under it, everything. And it took me 3 hours to do because it was just me and a little chisel scraping away at the carbon. Make sure that grill looks spotless for the inspection today. And tonight's a truck night and I don't want to go to work. But that's life. Gotta work. Got real laid back out of nowhere. Like, just talking like this makes me feel like I'm talking to a friend, you know? Just honestly good company, me and my phone. My foot is asleep and it's pissing me off. Oh god, when I say it's a mega story time, oh my god, 28 minutes. Or 27. Whew. I was just jabbering for most of it. My god, I'm sorry. But, so I don't give you guys an incredibly long video, like this already is, blah. I'll leave you guys with a quick story if I can think of one, like, in the next 15 seconds. Like, I had one lined up earlier, but just completely forgot about it. And I hate that, man. Like, if I had my phone on me at that point in time, and if I wasn't at work, I'd just pull my phone out and start recording, because it helps me not lose track of time and or how long I've uploaded, because it's been forever since my last upload. I'll probably tell you how long it's been, actually. I'm already on YouTube, so I can just go back here, go down to this, or I'll have to type in my YouTube channel. SNW. There we go. Yeah, I searched myself, so what? Yeah, 2 months ago, I uploaded, no, yeah. Check out my new Twitch. God-awful video. Oh, the soda, oh god, I can still taste that freaking dirt soda. Huh. But, you guys really seem to like the storytime videos, and I love doing them. I love talking, I love the fact that you guys get to know me more on a, pseudo-personal level. Because this is me. Even when the cameras aren't rolling, I chill, work, and just talk. But I want to be a comedian. It's something I've always wanted to do, is just be a comedian. I love making people laugh, I love making people happy, and improv is like my game. I can go on and on. Give me a topic, boom, improv for hours. I used to make here's a quick story. Years ago, when me and my brother would walk home from school, I would, make up songs, or parodies of songs, and they would go on and on for like 15, 20 minutes, just me singing this song off the top of my dome, because why not, And it was incredible. I miss that. I miss having friends and hanging out with people. I'm just cooped up in my house all day and just work. That's it. But my god, this video is half an hour long. I'm going to leave this here. So, stay here. See you guys later.